forecast. Wintry mix expected today, high 32. Cloudy tonight, low 25. For tomorrow, cloudy skies, high 42. Cloudy skies 45 on Saturday. For Sunday, snow a possibility, high of 30. And for Monday, mostly sunny and colder with a high of 18. Overnight low was 27. Yesterday's high 53. Just a trace of precipitation overnight. Currently, humidity at 84%. Winds out of the north-northeast at 7 miles an hour. Pressure 30.21 and holding. Right now, cloudy skies and 27 here at the WFIW studios east of Fairfield. And it's time for Morning Coffee. Brought to you this morning by TT Designs in Fairfield. They can bring your design to life. Stop in and let TTT Design complete your vision. Custom printing available on shirt size newborn through 5XL. Visit them Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 1411 West Main in Fairfield.
Good morning. How are you? And welcome to Bill Book, who's now in his second appearance on Morning Coffee. So now you're a wily veteran.
That's good to know I didn't mess up enough the first time.
No, it's really hard to do that here. It really is.
Yeah.
Seems like I'm involved in a lot of those things that you can't do anything to get fired from.
No, you won't get fired from this, I guarantee you. I'm going to tell you what happened last night. I was once again at the Bobcat Den doing what I can to lessen
the load.
My considerable girth.
Lessen the load.
After I got done working
he's doing his part to save the streets of Fairfield from getting worse.
I have created a few potholes. Anyway, I got done, and the lights are on in the baseball field. They're having a game.
Home opener yesterday.
Whoa. So I get this is at around 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so I wander over and I see Jan Wiles and give her a hug, and she says, "Listen, come on in to the broadcast booth, the place where they've got the scoreboard and stuff like that. You know, the wind." I checked my phone. It was 36 degrees, and there was a 15-mile-an-hour wind blowing out to right field. They were down by 2 runs in the 7th inning, and I went in and stood behind the plate. I met about 7 players. 5 from Texas, 1 from Canada. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm there, and they scratch out a run to get it within 1.
Right.
And then a guy gets on. We're in the bottom of the 7th. And this pitcher for Lindenwood throws an inside pitch, and this Trey Woolsey.
Trey Woosley. Woosley.
Got it.
Sophomore out of, down in my old neck of the woods, down in Kentucky. Goes to Louisville.
He turns on one and puts one into the jet stream. And I guarantee you, that ball hit Route 15. I mean, it just kept rising. And that's a big field.
Yeah.
It just kept rising. Walk-off homer.
Yeah.
Everybody was dancing around. And so I was great. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I'm really disturbed by our forecast.
Yeah.
You mean like single digit?
Yeah!
Yeah. Well, they actually, Frontier, had a game scheduled for Sunday.
Yeah.
They have moved that game up to Saturday now because of
so they can
5
play
above. So they could play.
So they can play in 35-degree weather again?
As opposed to 5 above weather.
Man.
Still winter, you know.
Yeah, I know it, but still, I mean, one morning this week, when I got out of my truck out front here, I heard birds singing. Mm-hmm. And I thought, it's here. It's coming. And then the tsunami comes in over the weekend, and you're doing radar weather, and you're telling us about a wintry mix coming at us right now.
Yeah, it's on its way.
All right, so I got to ask, since Bill Book's here, clearly we have to talk a few minutes, even though this is not a sports program.
Got to talk about basketball.
You got to. Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Absolutely.
And you know, truthfully, that's in every conversation around town.
And it should be.
Well, it's March Madness.
Yeah.
Well, almost March Madness.
Well, you can't say that.
All right.
Can't say that. It's been trademarked.
So, Bill, I got to tell you, I know you're going to say, I mean, if I was stupid enough to ask you, you know, what's going to happen in this game, you would hopefully, being a good FCHS graduate, a former mule, I guess you're always a mule. You never a former mule.
Proudly.
Yes. You'd say we're going to win. But what are, in your mind, what are the keys to victory against a very, very good program, T-Town?
Well, with our team, if you haven't seen them play, try to. because it's amazing the defense they play. If we play the defense that we're capable of playing, I don't know.
There's no stopping this team. I don't
Who
think.
can beat it? Who can beat us?
Because
Okay.
I'm not trying to get a game ahead, but lurking out there is Nashville.
That's a tough road. There's no
Yes.
doubt about it. No game from here on out should
Be easy.
be easy. Okay, and I was talking with a former. I don't know if he was a teacher here. I don't know if he ever became an administrator. John Pearson, who's
Yes,
at Red
yes.
River. He was at the game Tuesday night.
I know
or
John
Monday
well.
night. Tuesday night. Anyway, he said, "Well, what do I expect here?" And I said, "Well, John," I said, "these kids get on you like whatever term you want to use, white on rice,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, whatever you want to use, and they just get you out of your game completely." Well, it was even more so
In that game the
that
other night.
than I'd seen all year.
I don't know how many people I've talked to, even from people out of the area that I've texted with, and the first words, I don't think I've ever seen a beatdown that bad, that far into the postseason.
Correct. I
I
mean, obviously they're a pretty good team, or they're not going to be where they are.
Right.
They didn't get here just because.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun to watch.
Yeah. I even had one of the officials from Tuesday night's game, who's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He said the same thing to me. He goes, and the first words out of his mouth were, "Man, they're fun to watch. Man, they're good on defense." That's the two comments he made to me.
Right. It was.
You can have off nights shooting, and you guys talked about how bad the team was at the line the other night, even though it didn't matter.
And you know what? It carried over into last night's games, too. I heard some reports from last night's game. Neither team shot very well from the charity stripe last night. And I'm talking T-Town or Mount Carmel. They didn't shoot very well.
But you can have off nights for shooting, but you can bring it defensively every night.
Correct.
And so let's hope. It would be wonderful. What a wonderful ride that would be
Oh, yeah.
if you could turn this into a win tomorrow night and then face somebody like Nashville and in Southern
I guess
Illinois.
Alton Marquette is really good.
Yeah.
as
Yes,
well.
they are.
Yeah.
I know that. I've heard that. So
That's who plays tomorrow night at DuQuoin in the sectional. Nashville and Alton Marquette.
Correct.
Then the winner moves on to the Carbondale Super Sectional against the winner of the Vandalia Sectional.
Okay. Well, we don't want to get too far ahead. Before I get into, I have one story that I find fascinating that you guys need to give me your thoughts about. I do want to give away, we're going to give 2 sets of tickets, and we're going to give it to the Foreigner concert that's coming up at the Aiken Theater at the Old National Events Plaza coming up. That's going to be on August 13th. We'll give 2 tickets right now.
Do we need a trivia question? I can come up with one real quick.
No, I want the first caller.
Okay.
The first person that calls us at 842-3715 gets a pair of tickets.
I was
How's that sound?
I was going to make it an easy trivia question. It would have been, hey,
You can save it for the second one. We're going to give another set.
Give us the name of this. Give us the name of this voice.
Oh, yeah, that's easy on this station.
Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee, and you're caller number 1. Who's this?
This is Gordy Toombs.
All
Gordy, how are
Woo-hoo.
you?
Congratulations.
Thank you for listening, and I'll tell you what, I'll call you back later and get information, your address and stuff like that, okay?
All right.
Thank you, Gordy.
Thanks,
for
Gordy.
listening.
Bye.
All right.
Go
well,
Mules. Goodbye.
Go
Yeah.
Mules, yeah.
Foreigner
Okay.
coming to the Aiken Theater over at Evansville. That's coming up in August.
Yeah, August 13th, I think I said. Yeah. So we'll have another set before the end of the show. I thought this was a great story. We had it on our Facebook page. There was a brawl at a buffet. It surprised one police officer. Police say 2 people were boiling mad as they were waiting for crab legs. Now, I've had my hand punctured by a fork when reaching for the last piece of chicken at a buffet. But I've never been to an all-out fight at a seafood restaurant. This is in Huntsville, Alabama. They said that there was the sound of tongs clashing. They were using them as swords. They waited two.
Huntsville, Alabama wouldn't even be swords. That'd be swords.
There you go.
But they were waiting. Apparently, it was 20 minutes between time that they were bringing out the new fresh. And so 2 guys who were very focused were waiting there.
They were staked out.
And when they hit the bin, one reached for the other, and the other apparently set on guard. And what happened next was there was a heck of a brawl. Some plates crashed. Each one of them were charged with disorderly conduct, and they are going to be paying a few $100s. All they had to do was be patient and pay the $10.58 for the buffet.
$10.58 for a crab leg buffet?
Yes, $10.58. Pretty good price, I thought. Not bad. But I'm thinking that was probably something I'd love to see on video.
Yeah.
If somebody could have captured that, that would have been good.
Now, was that at the Sizzler?
No. What's the other place that's just a trough? I mean,
Ryan's
What
Golden
is it?
Corral.
Golden Corral. We lived in Murfreesboro, and I'd have to go back and forth to Carterville on Route 13.
Oh, that Garden Corral there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that place is packed all the time.
Let me tell you something. You cannot find a parking spot there from 8 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
That's. I mean.
Yeah.
But I have to say also, when you see the people walking from their cars,
Yeah.
You
They're
know-
not just walking. They're waddling.
you can tell that Golden Corral might be losing money. Because they're
Some
doubt
of
it.
some
You
of them
doubt it?
have that glazed look on their face,
Wow.
in their eyes.
They're looking for the glazed ham is what they're looking for.
That glazed donut look.
Now, it must not have been very good recently, because the last time I was down that way,
Yes.
I was listening to a radio station out of Carbondale, and all of a sudden this commercial comes on. Check out the new Carbondale Golden Corral. New owners, new management.
They sold.
Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. All right, I got the stack stuff.
Must
Should I
not
go?
have been very good. Yeah, go.
Should I go with
Go.
birthdays today? Some interesting stuff. Charles Durning. Remember him?
Actor name
Yes.
is familiar.
The Sting, Dog Day Afternoon, Tootsie. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
He was in that as well. Dick Tracy, Spy Hard, The Hindenburg. He died, by the way, in 2012 at the age of 69. But he was a World War II soldier, decorated for valor in combat. He had the Bronze Star, the Silver Star, and the Purple Heart. So, kudos to him in his life.
Okay. Hey,
Mar-
can I
yes.
stop you there for a
All right.
second? Just got a note from Bobby Wells over at
Yes.
FCHS. Gates are going to open at 5 o'clock on Friday.
2 hours before the
Yeah,
game?
7 o'clock tip. Fan bus for students will be provided if they get 25 students to sign up.
That's going to be easy.
Pizza and cookies will be provided. The fan bus will leave at 4.
Oh, well, that's a given then.
Can I ride the fan bus?
I'm bringing my tongs to fight. That's my piece of pizza there, partner,
Oh, man.
Pilgrim. All right.
Anyway, so there's that note.
Okay,
The door's
good.
going to open at 5 tomorrow.
Good. We'll,
so.
we'll get that to the newsroom. Mario Andretti is 79 today.
Is he still racing cars?
No. Well, he did for a long time.
Yeah, he did.
He has a twin, Aldo Andretti.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that
Didn't either. He born in Italy, one of 2 drivers to win races in Formula, Indy, and NASCAR. So he had an incredible
Yeah.
ride, so to speak. Here we go. Bubba Smith, Charles Aaron Smith. 1945 when he was born. He died in 2011 at the age of 66. Defensive end, 6'7", 265. Played at Michigan State.
Pretty good. Well, wasn't a bad actor either. He
Moses
actually-
Hightower in the first 6
Police Academies. Yeah.
Here's the sad part. When he died, the diagnosis was CTE.
Oh, yeah.
They did that, listen to me carefully, posthumously.
Yeah. Because with CTE,
Yes.
you can't determine
No.
you have it until after you die.
Right. He was with his most famous thing that he's remembered for was doing Miller Lite commercials with Dick Butkus.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember those?
Less filling.
Les,
Great taste.
yes.
Less filling. Tastes great.
Now, here in his book, get a load of this one. In his book, he said that he felt Super Bowl III was fixed.
Really?
He alleges that they did it because they wanted the merger between the AFL and the NFL, and that 1970 that happened only after Joe Namath led the Jets in an
Right.
upset victory over
The Colts.
Baltimore Colts that he was playing defensive end for.
Yep.
But isn't that interesting?
Well, he ought to know whether it was rigged or not.
Well,
If he was, did they tell him to slough off on defense?
that's what he didn't say nobody told. And if he could have grabbed Joe Namath, he would have made a wishbone out of him.
Of course.
But he didn't get to him. All right. Mercedes Rule is 77 today. She's an actress. Last action hero, married to the mob. This is an interesting story. Married in 1988. Not 1969, excuse me. She adopted a son, Jake, then had another son, Christopher, but gave him up for adoption in 1976. Had nothing to do with him until his 21st birthday and then took him back.
Okay.
Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah. How old was she when she had the natural son?
Like she was in her 30s.
Oh, okay. I was
So,
going to say.
I don't get it. No other context to that,
kinda
but that's
weird,
what.
yeah.
Bernadette Peters, her real name is Bernadette Lazara, 72 today. She was in The Jerk, Pennies from Heaven, actress, singer, children's book author, and 5-decade career performer. She's had 2 Tonys. She had a romantic relationship with Steve Martin for 4 years.
And co-starred in The Jerk and
Yes.
Pennies from Heaven with
There you
Steve.
go.
But she was married in 2005. That ended. She married in 2005 at Mary Tyler Moore's house to a guy by the name of Michael Wittenberg. 3 months later, he died in a helicopter crash.
Ooh.
And she's never remarried.
And Bubba Smith said that was fixed too.
Yes, yes. So anyway, I thought those were interesting birthdays. On this date, February 28th, the Republican Party was organized in 1854 in Wisconsin. About 50 slavery opponents began the new political group. Very few people realize that the Republicans, as they formed, were very much against slavery as opposed to, the way they're portrayed today, quite
Wasn't there a lot
honestly.
of abolitionists
Yes.
that actually were instrumental in forming the Republican Party?
Yes. 1940, the first televised basketball game was shown. The game featured Fordham against the University of Pittsburgh from Madison Square Garden. 1979, Mr. Ed, the talking horse from the TV show, died.
Oh.
Yes. Get a little. Is the news guy around here anywhere?
No.
All right, 1983, he'll scream this out. MASH became the most watched television program in history when the final episode aired. And I have to tell you, I was most disappointed with that final episode. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember it.
It did nothing for me. It was an hour or hour and a half, and it was sad, but I thought
It was MASH-like, if you
Yeah.
understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay?
yes,
It was a comedy that always...
had a point.
Exactly.
Good, yes. 1995, the Denver International Airport opened after a 16-month delay. Have you ever flown into Denver? Have you, Bill?
No, but I'm going to this summer.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. It's a country mile from Denver. It's way out from Denver. You have to. A taxi ride will cost you your right leg back into town.
I'll rent a car.
There you go. 2002. It was announced that John Madden would replace Dennis Miller on Monday Night Football. Madden signed a 4-year, $20 million deal with ABC. I always thought it was interesting. Anytime, because he didn't fly,
I was going to say, he's never flown into Denver either.
but
He was involved in quite a few games at Denver too.
Yes.
he's driven past the airport on his way into town in his bus.
Yeah.
He had a tour bus, and he'd always stop at a truck stop in Greenville, Illinois. He was famous anytime he was coming through on 70, and he's coming through on 70 going both ways all the time.
They
Yeah.
got some good fried chicken there.
I have no idea whether, but he became a celebrity at this truck stop there because he would always stop there and go in and get coffee or whatever, and so people recognized him there. Ba-dum-bum-bum, and in 1984, Michael Jackson won 8 Grammy Awards, 7 connected to the album
Thriller.
Thriller. Good job.
And Bubba Smith said it was fixed.
It was fixed. There's no doubt about it.
It's a real thriller.
Tony Randall had something to do with it.
I think so.
Anyway, the 8th was for his non-musical narration on E.T., the extraterrestrial. And that is the stack of stuff for today.
All right.
We're going to take a break.
We are.
It's morning coffee. Stay with us.
Let Dairy Queen help you crave your hunger. Stop in this month and get a 4-piece chicken strip basket for $4.99. During the month of February, Dairy Queen's Blizzard of the Month is a dipped strawberry. It's made with chunks of Ghirardelli chocolate and strawberry. Need something to do on Monday afternoons? Dairy Queen in Fairfield offers free senior bingo every Monday from 2 to 4. Crave your hunger and spend the afternoon playing bingo. Who knows, you may win a free DQ treat. Visit Dairy Queen 7 days a week. They're open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
It's here. The Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to our station's website, WFIWradio.com, and click on Big Deals. Here you'll find dozens of gift certificates for places like the Taco Factory, Uniquely Rustique, and Southern Illinois Tile and Carpet Supply. You can shop 24 hours a day and save tons of money in the process. But you better hurry. You never know how long each deal will last.
Time Capsule, sponsored today by Save-A-Lot Food Store on West Main, Fairfield.
Hi, this is Bill Stevens with another Time Capsule quiz. Which month and year was it when we launched our first weather satellite and took our 18th census? French President Charles de Gaulle met with President Eisenhower in Washington. Senator John Kennedy won the Wisconsin primary.
And I can assure you that if I'm successful here, I shall go to Los Angeles in hopes of being nominated.
Ben-Hur won 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Bye Bye Birdie opened on Broadway. Arnold Palmer charged from behind to win the Masters. And this is what the new music sounded like.
Mama, here comes the night. Puppy love. Step by step. Like Clementine. We gotta sink the Bismarck. This magic moment. Let the little girl dance. I love the way you footsteps.
All these songs came out together. But when? The answer and a little taste of the top song from the month and year are coming up.
Come by the Fairfield Save-A-Lot on West Main Street in Fairfield and take advantage of these great deals. A head of lettuce is 95 cents. Whole twin pack pork butts, $1.39 a pound. Broccoli crowns, 99 cents a pound. And bananas, 25 cents a pound. Price is good through Saturday. Good food, great people, great prices at your Save-A-Lot store, West Main Street in Fairfield, and like them on Facebook.
April 1960. Once there were green fields.
The Brothers Four and Green Fields, the top song of April 1960. This is Bill Stevens for tcapsule.com. Back soon with another Time Capsule.
Time Capsule has been sponsored today by Save-A-Lot Food Store on West Main, Fairfield.
Most people understand the need for life insurance, but not many want to talk about why it's essential to your financial plan. It may seem intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started with me, Steve Thompson at Country Financial today, and I can work with you to find life insurance that gives you the protection you need at a price you can afford.
Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Community Connection is now online at WFIWradio.com. Now, not only can you hear the Community Connection after the 7:15 news on WFIW AM 1390 and 103.3 FM, but you can hear it online anytime. If you missed the show, go to WFIWradio.com, then click on About Us, then Community Connection for the latest episodes. You can also catch up on past shows. Community Connection after the 7:15 news on WFIW AM 1390 and FM 103.3, and now online at WFIWradio.com.
This show amounts to nothing. And there's plenty more of it. Back now to Morning Coffee on WFIWradio.com and 104.9 FM.
Morning Coffee brought to you by TTT Designs right here in Fairfield. They can design and print your ideas. TTT Designs at 1411 West Main in Fairfield, open Tuesday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Bill Book here for a little morning coffee with us, and you can join us on YouTube as well. All you have to do is go to YouTube and put in WFIW Radio, and you can see us, our bright, shining faces, on this Thursday morning. We were talking during the break about, on the time capsule, it was talking about Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
And I said, I've seen some videos lately of Palmer and Jack Nicklaus and a number of other guys. And they're walking down in the early 60s. They're walking down the fairway, and they're smoking a cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
And Palmer, when he's putting, he puts the cigarette on the side of the green so he can go over and pick it up after he gets done. And this is all on TV live. And I'm thinking, wow, has that changed?
A bunch, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Walter Cronkite used to sit and smoke a cigarette, have a drink while he's reading the news.
Well, so did Edward R. Murrow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the last guy to do it and get away with it was John Daly.
Yeah,
remember him?
Yeah, he was probably also packing some fried chicken and some donuts.
He was
and some cake.
He could drive the ball.
Flask.
He could drive the ball.
Yeah.
He 300-yard.
Oh.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, and his caddies were always just
bartenders,
incredibly muscled because they had to carry that keg around.
Yeah. But that's a sign of the times. Here's a sign of the times as well. Now, you guys are going to have to react to this. Sometimes things from the past can come back to haunt you even after you're dead. That's the case for legendary actor John Wayne, whose name was applied to the California Orange County Airport back in 1979. This month, someone dug up an interview that Wayne did with the Playboy magazine in 1971. They do have interviews in that magazine.
Really?
And yes. Well, not that I'd ever read any of them. But anyway, his comments range from politically incorrect to grossly offensive by contemporary standards. That led the LA Times to run an editorial this week urging the Orange County officials to rename the airport, claiming the 1971 interview shows that Wayne is a, quote, outspoken racist and homophobe.
Now,
quote.
Key word in that story right there.
Yes.
Grossly inappropriate by contemporary
Correct.
standards. Two words, contemporary standards. Back then it was okay. It was
John Wayne's the guy that
probably wasn't okay, but it was acceptable.
Well,
correct.
Well, let's go further. I mean, this is the guy that had the Green Beret movie made, and he did it for one reason:
yes,
to turn the tide of public opinion towards being in Vietnam instead of being away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, you can go through. And
where are you going to stop?
Yes.
I mean, you go back in anybody's past, I'm sure they've said something that, I know I've said something wouldn't allow me to run for president.
Well,
there's an awful lot of things you can find if you Google my name. Go
ahead.
Are
we going to change the name of Wayne County because it was Mad Dog Anthony Wayne, and that's discriminatory to dogs or something?
Don't give anybody any ideas.
Oh, man, don't go there. Yeah, that'd cost a lot of money to change stuff on the courthouse, stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
What are we going to name it?
I don't know.
We've got to find somebody else who's totally politically correct. We have to find that person, which means they'd have to be living in the last 5 years.
Well, why don't we call it PC County?
But, I remember my grandfather, he had a picture of John Wayne in the garage where he'd work on his car. And it wasn't because he had homoerotic thoughts about John Wayne. I said to him, why is that picture of John Wayne here? He says, because that's what is the representation of an American man.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That was his feeling.
Yeah, that was going to be my comment right there when you asked him why the picture, because that's a real man.
Yes, absolutely. That's what he believed, and guess what? That's what I was raised to believe.
Yeah.
So you can go digging through everybody's comments from 1960 to 1970, and you're going to find something. I said the other day, I watched a routine by Don Rickles on The Tonight Show that would never fly today. Yeah. Yes. Oh, that was one of the great bits was with Dean Martin, George Gobel, and Bob Hope, and that was totally politically incorrect by today's standards. So anyway. Keep an eye out above. It's highly likely that a Russian satellite that's been up there for years and years, weighing a whopping 500 pounds, it's been circling in orbit in Earth ever since a disastrous launch in October of 72. In other words, it ruined the project. It just turned out to be a big ball floating around in space. It's coming down. It'll happen in 2019. Cosmos 482.
500 pounds. It'll probably burn up before it gets into the atmosphere.
Well,
before we see it.
But it was launched in 72?
Well, they launched it in 72. It was ruined. They were not able to ever get any data from it. But it turned into a useless piece of space debris. And it's not going to be a piece of space debris now. It's going to come to Earth.
Well, I don't understand how that space happens, I guess, but I mean, how could it stay up there so long?
I don't know. It must have been shot into such a high trajectory. It took this long for it to be able to come back down to Earth.
I have no idea.
What goes up must come down, right? And it's going to come down. Got any stock in Weight Watchers, Bill?
No, I have stock in the other side.
Well, I was going to say,
I'm in the food side.
Look at your YouTube channel now. There's no way we have stock in Weight Watchers.
Well, Oprah does. Oprah Winfrey.
She may not have it much longer. She's
losing
to get rid of it.
She's losing her rather large posterior, and that's probably politically incorrect.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, she lost a bunch of weight when she first bought the stock, and that helped her. They shot a bunch of commercials with her.
Yeah.
If you've seen her lately.
I have not seen her lately.
That's not going to help the stock.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
Well, why is it losing?
I don't know.
Because
fresh
somebody
batch.
Leaked a picture of Oprah Winfrey?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It lost an additional $39.2 million from her fortune. She's the biggest individual stockholder of Weight Watchers. Oprah Winfrey, who owns more than 8% of the entire company, saw the value of her take drop. No, more. I'm sorry. It dropped $122.7 million on her alone.
Man.
She's worth.
And that's just 8%?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. She's worth billions. So it's not. I mean, it's probably
that's pocket change to her.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about her.
You don't think we should pass a hat for her or anything like that?
Yeah. A GoFundMe fund.
Yeah. She's not going to miss any meals because
losing money. You see, that's politically incorrect.
I'm sorry.
Friend. You can't be talking about a woman's weight on these airwaves and get away with it.
I did not say anything about.
I implied that you did.
Oh, I'm sorry. You implied that I implied that.
Yes, that's right. From Raleigh, North Carolina. That's one state that might be happier. It's employees that work at schools. In North Carolina, if your school falls below a certain standard as far as grades, you get less state money.
Well,
so what
that's a pretty novel approach. Going on there, would there?
Yes, exactly what's going on. They've now decided that an F is 39%.
What?
Instead of 60%, which is that's usually the bottom of the.
It used to be 70%.
Well, it depends. I wouldn't doubt at FCHS it was 70%.
I think when I was in high school, an F was 70% or below.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that was a D where I grew up. Go ahead.
Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
Yes, I'll just listen to you there talking about John Wayne, which, everybody's their thing, but he was great.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, but, they're talking about politically and all this, but you stop and look at a lot of the TV shows now, which, they have this one called, or Blackish,
Yeah.
Which, whatever, but Still, you stop things, but do you hear Mike, man, you griping because of that? And if you look at the TV shows, there's more colored people on the shows than there is white people, because we're the minority now, for me. And, Mike, did you ever read Mike Hucklebee's God, Guns, Grits, and Gravy?
No, I've heard a lot about it, but I have not read it.
Well, you should read it.
I like Huckabee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do too. And it is a very good book to read.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas. He was, twice a presidential candidate?
Yep.
He got, I think he won Iowa one year, which put him into the, he was the favorite there for a short period of time. I think that was the one that McCain won.
And he's still mentioned in, like, vice presidential names.
Yes.
When they float vice presidential nominee names around, his name always seems to come up.
Well, his daughter certainly has made a name for herself, hasn't she?
Now, he was from Arkansas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was after years and years and years of Democrats being, including Bill Clinton being the governor. I think he was the governor, wasn't right after Clinton, but closely thereafter became the governor. And had a good run as governor. I think some of the things that he stood for probably translate quite well to this region.
Oh, absolutely. Very Midwest.
Yeah, he was very, very conservative.
Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Pro life. All the things that I think we probably ought to be a little bit worried about in the state of Illinois right now. If those are issues that are near and dear to you, those are going to change in Illinois. And that's something to be greatly concerned about. I had a nice conversation with Darren Bailey yesterday, our state representative, and we were talking about the commentary that I did this morning about a bill that says no concealed weapons in church. And he said, I said, is there any possibility that would pass? And he says, given the way it is now, I wouldn't say it isn't possible.
I'd have to agree. But, you put that sign up there, the circle through the gun.
Yes.
Nobody's going to bring a gun in there. So, we're okay.
Right.
And if they're concealed, how can you tell?
The stupidity is unbelievable sometimes.
Well, if you could make a law and keep people from doing something, we wouldn't need cops.
Exactly.
Because, it's a law, can't do it. But we all know that doesn't work.
Give me a trivia question so I can give away these other tickets.
All right. Who does FCHS play in the sectional championship game tomorrow?
Oh, you're going to make it hard.
I'm going to make it really hard. I told you I was going to make it an easy trivia question.
All right. Well, Gordy Toombs won a couple of tickets. This is for the Foreigner concert that's coming up in August over in Evansville. If you want to call in right now at 842-3715, we'll give you a pair of tickets.
If you can tell us
who the Fairfield Mules are playing in the game tomorrow night. Go ahead.
Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
They're playing Teutopolis.
Yes. Who are we talking to?
This is Anita.
All right. Anita, you've got one ticket now. Here's the follow-up question for the other ticket. Who did Teutopolis beat?
Mount Carmel.
Okay. There you
right
go.
On it. Yeah.
Anita, what's your last name?
Do what?
What's your last name, Anita?
Oh, Morris.
Morris?
Morris.
All right, Anita, call me back after the show here so that I can get your address so I know where to send those tickets.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you
Thanks,
very much
Anita.
for listening. All right. Well, Anita was astute when it came to athletics.
Yeah.
She knew her answers. And you threw her a curve. And
I threw a curve.
She still knew what
doing
it
a
was.
follow-up question for that other ticket. So.
Yeah. Bill, what dominates your time these days? I knew you were out doing a little hunting the other day.
Oh, yeah. I did a lot of bird hunting this fall. Had loads of fun with a couple of neighbors, and we killed some birds. And it's fun watching good bird dogs work. So
yes.
Had a lot of fun. Well, it's been time watching the grandkids.
Yes.
Play ball. If it's warm, play golf.
I'm going to get out there, Bill.
So, yeah,
I'm going to get out there.
I'm going to tell you right now, you guys need to invest in some more pork chops next time you're out there on Saturday.
Oh, did you miss out?
No, I went
Got there late?
I sent Tina over to get pork chops last week.
Right.
And she came back and she goes, they didn't have any pork chops. They were sold out. This is like 11 o'clock.
I tell you, last week it started early and boom.
That's great.
Yes.
Love it.
It's the way we like it.
Oh, yeah. I rolled through in my truck, got some pork burgers, and they came straight off the grill.
Yeah. Yeah. So I settled for a pork burger.
Well, I had a pork burger. It was
they
off
are
my
good.
diet.
Which, by the
but
way,
they were
was really
awfully
good. But
They are good.
I want to remind you, we talk a little bit about Upland Game. Bill, there's the Liars Banquet coming up. That's going to be on March the 22nd. And if I'm lying, I'm dying.
All right.
I'll probably tell a real story. I'm going to be one of the speakers, one of the liars that's going to be on stage, including some famous names. The Phelps brothers are going to be there, the Gospel Quartet, Dick Dietz.
Yeah.
Dick Dietz, the mayor. He is the mayor of McLeansboro, isn't he?
I believe he still is. Has been for lots of years.
Roger Hobbs, Mary
Who
Musgrave.
does radio for Carmi?
Does he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I should know that. That's one of our stations.
Yeah.
Mary Musgrave, Don Hale.
He was a former superintendent at New Hope School.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, we've got a world-class group of liars. That banquet's going to be coming up on the 22nd. If you want to get tickets, you can even call me here. Not free. $25 a piece. They have chops and chicken and potatoes and vegetables. It's going to be at the Christian Church. Right. That's coming up on March 22nd. So I'm looking forward to that and want you to look into going as well.
Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
Morning, it's Dave Rigg.
Hey, Dave.
I watched the Two Topless Mount Carmel game last night.
Yes.
And in my opinion, Fairfield can beat Two Topless, but you better hit your free throws because Mount Carmel did not last night. And that plus the officials were really rough on Mount Carmel as far as calling charging fouls. They called I think it was 6 or 7 charging fouls against Mount Carmel and none against Two Topless.
Really?
Yeah. Mount Carmel announcers were going nuts. And Mount Carmel fans were too, you know.
You've seen this Fairfield team a number of times, Dave, and so, I mean, you've seen them play defense. And
yeah, I'll tell you, the thing that to me is a reason why Fairfield can end up at the state finals is you have got so many weapons. I mean, you know, and your coach McElravy just keeps fresh legs on the floor, sending substitutes in. Mount Carmel went with 5 players last night, and it shows when you get to the fourth quarter. So you know you've got this Zerlini kid who can hit from the outside. You've got the Estes boy who can play well inside. You've got good guard plays from Gilbert and from Jazel O'Neal. And the Hickson-Ball kid is tall, but he also is a good outside shooter. Fairfield has a team this year that can go to the state finals. Now, I don't know what you're going to run into when you get to the Super, but I think you guys can beat Two Topless this year.
That's another thing that we really hadn't talked about is that essentially about 3 minutes or 4 minutes into the game, there's a line change.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Dave, for calling.
We just call them the shock troops.
And I'll tell you, somebody that was a real catalyst the other night was Luke Dagg.
Yeah, he sure, and he's the energy guy off the bench.
And long arms, quick. I mean, you're not going to get something past him if he's got something to say about it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's
you know what?
excited.
If you do get past to him, he's just got a mean enough streak into him. He might give you a bump or two. Might give you a hip check as you go past him.
He will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, Dave.
Man.
We need to take a break, and then we're going to. Bill's got some trivia.
All right.
Do you have somebody to talk to today as well?
Yes, Sheldon.
Okay, we'll talk to Sheldon after we get back.
Black's Fashion Flowers in downtown Fairfield is your home for tuxedo rentals from Jim's Formal Wear. Whether you're headed to prom or getting married, Black's can make that special day even more special by helping you look good. And don't forget, Blacks can also custom design your wedding and prom flowers. Stop by 310 East Main in Fairfield or give them a call at 847-7076. Blacks Fashion Flowers, your florist with a personal touch, across from the courthouse in downtown Fairfield. And remember to like them on Facebook.
The J. Wilderman Autoplex Ford, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Giant President's Day sell-off has officially kicked off. The small-town automotive giants will do whatever it takes to earn your business. Low price, low payments, and giant trade allowances to top off the deal. Total Ram discounts up to $15,000. New F-150 discounts up to $14,000. Over 150 new vehicles and over 300 pre-owned vehicles available at the lowest prices in the tri-state. Stop by for a friendly buying experience and view all President's Day specials at jwildermanautoplex.com.
Research shows that on average, 50% of Americans carry cash while 77% carry a smartphone. Wouldn't you love to pay a friend with just a few clicks on your phone? Well, now you can. This is Jessica Sanders at the Fairfield Banking Company, and I'm excited to introduce Spin. Spin is a person-to-person payment option that allows you to send money instantly via our mobile app. Pay your beautician, your babysitter, anyone that has a debit card and smartphone. Give us a call or stop by any of our 4 branches for more details. The Fairfield Banking Company, we're the hometown banks, member FDIC.
If you're interested in reaching every household in Wayne, Edwards, Wabash, or Richland County, then TOC Direct Mail can help you. Contact marketing specialist Lori Snidel to see how TOC Direct Mail can help you reach your customers directly in their mailbox.
WFIW 104.9 at WFIWradio.com. Sheldon Bunning from Le Mans Chevrolet Chrysler is on the phone. Good morning, Sheldon.
Good morning, Mark.
What is going on over to Le Mans?
Well, it's the last day of February, I do believe.
Yeah, and that means the new deals come out. It's the second truck month of the year coming up in March, right?
Well, I don't know that yet. So that has been that's undisclosed information. They don't allow us to have that or previous to that beforehand. So
Did you get your roof fixed, Sheldon?
I think we had the guy come check it out, the roof guy. So
all right.
I don't think there's going to be that kind of wind this weekend. Okay,
Yeah.
so you might be lucky.
I'm hoping so.
Right. So what's going on at Le Mans today?
Well, if your goal was to buy a newer pre-owned car during the month of February in 2019, you've got one last day to make that happen. So,
What kind of specials you got going on for this last day of February? Is there a leap year special?
I don't know. I don't know that they've not advertised any kind of leap year special.
Course,
We don't have a
it's not
29th
leap
this year, so yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of deals do you have for the final day of February for someone who just needs to get them a new vehicle before the end of the day?
Well, like we've talked, we've got some amazing discounts on the new trucks, the Rams, and we've got a few of the 18 Silverados left. They've got big money on them, and I know the Silverados are supposedly going to take some money off of them for next month. So that is what I've heard. So
Okay. All right.
So,
Sounds
I mean, if
like
you're
a
wanting a
deal.
new Chevy truck, you better get in here and act now if you want in one of these 18s.
All right. What's the prediction now on the new Jeep pickup truck? When are we going to see one on the lot? That's what I want to know.
I think that they're going to have production of those vehicles in March and April, and they actually send the dealers a lot of times when there's something all new. They just send us one without ordering it. They call it a spec unit.
Yeah.
And I think that the vehicles that are going to be produced in March and April are going to be all dealer spec units, but we hopefully can order them maybe next month or after the 1st of April.
All right. And that is a full-size pickup produced by Jeep, right?
Well, no, it's built off the Wrangler platform, so I wouldn't consider it. I'd consider it a mid-size pickup.
Okay. All righty. That's March or April now. All right, Sheldon. We appreciate you joining us, and we will talk to you on Monday.
All right, we'll talk to you next month.
All right.
You guys have a great morning.
Thanks, Sheldon. Sheldon Bunning from Le Mans Chevrolet Chrysler joins us every Monday and Thursday here on the WFIW Morning Show. Check him out online at lemansonline.com. Time for that radar weather. It's brought to you this morning by Stumpy's.
Are you tired of mowing around or looking at that ugly tree stump in your yard? Removing a tree stump doesn't have to be a burden. Stumpy's can make the process quick and easy. A local business started by Clay Marks through the Mount Carmel CEO program offers free estimates, cheap rates, cleanup, and no mess after the job is completed. Clay guarantees you'll be happy with his work, so call him today at 838-0635. That's 838-0635.
Your Fairfield area weather forecast. Wintry mix today with a high 32. Cloudy tonight, low 25. Cloudy and 42 tomorrow for Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies, high 45. Snow a possibility on Sunday, high 30. And for Monday, mostly sunny. Much colder on Monday with a high just 18 above. Overnight low was 27, yesterday's high 53. Trace of rainfall overnight here at the WFIW studios. Currently humidity at 80%, winds out of the north at 7 miles an hour, pressure at 30.2. Right now, cloudy skies 28 here at the WFIW studios east of Fairfield. Radar weather showing scattered snow and rain mixtures in the area. It's pretty scattered there. There's pop-up showers and pop-up snow all over the immediate area this morning. And radar weather brought to you this morning by Stumpy's. Contact Clay Marks on Facebook, or you can call him at 838-0635 to get your free estimate today.
The Coffee Cam is on, and you can watch Morning Coffee on YouTube. Now, all they need is lots of makeup. Back to the show.
Morning Coffee brought to you by TTT Designs at 1411 West Main in Fairfield. They're ready to complete your idea. You can get your Mules apparel there for the next game. Available in sizes newborn through 5XL. TTT Designs at 1411 West Main in Fairfield.
Well, that was totally appropriate because we all three do need makeup. We got to be careful when we use that when we have a female guest. You know what I mean?
We do.
No, Bill's not offended.
There's not enough makeup out there, though.
All right. You've got some trivia for us, as many of our guests do, because they do a good job of stumping us. So, speaking of stumps, go right ahead, Bill.
All right. I have some Fairfield High School trivia.
Okay. Well, I might not be good at this.
Well, and I'll put a disclaimer here. I'm almost certain I have my facts right, but I could.
Well, don't worry. Somebody will call if you don't.
Right. Okay. First question. What future FCH coach signed with the Chicago Bears in 1940?
Future FCHS coach?
A future FCHS coach?
Yes. He signed out of Charleston Teachers College to play with the Bears in 1940.
No. He's not talking that he's going to be a coach in the future.
No, in 1940,
he was
going to be.
He became a coach later on.
I'm sorry, I was confused by that.
In 1940,
I don't Chicago Bears. Most impressive.
That is impressive.
That was the Monsters in the Midway, wasn't it?
It was.
In the 40s?
His name was Bill Glenn.
Bill Glenn.
Bill Glenn.
Okay.
Now, follow up.
All right.
What do you think what he got to play for the Bears?
Uh-oh. Are you talking about like the organist?
No. Monetarily.
What he got paid?
Yes.
Per month or a signing bonus?
Per game.
Per game.
$175.
That's close.
Okay. Well, I'm not. More or less?
Less.
Holy moly. 125?
Right on the money.
I knew that.
$125 per game.
Now here's the next. Did he start for him? Did he play a lot?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Son of a gun.
He could play. He could always play. Guard into tackle.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Sit on the end of the bench, guard the water bucket, tackle anybody that comes by to get it.
There you go. Okay. Next question.
All right.
What was the score of the Salem Fairfield football game on October 8, 1943?
I'm thinking that it must be an extraordinary score for you to remember it or find it. So it's got to be some absolute rout.
It was
63-0.
But who? You talking about Salem or Fairfield?
He just asked for the score. He didn't say who won.
Oh, well, you've got to come up with that.
Salem won. Okay.
Salem won. Well, I'm gonna say it was a blowout. I'm gonna say 60-0.
184-0.
You've got to be kidding.
No. Really? And that's number 3 on the list in Illinois of
worst blowouts?
Yes.
Hence the reason why Salem and Fairfield are such big rivals.
Wow.
And here's what I was always told that happened. Now, there's a rule in football, it's still in force, that the team that is scored upon determines who kicks off. Well, we always... Now, the team that's going to kick off to the team that scored.
Right.
But and it's still in effect, the coach was upset with his team for some reason. So every time Salem would score,
he'd let him get the ball.
He would kick
game.
off to him again.
Oh, what a great coach.
I don't think he lasted much longer after that. But in this bit of news this was during World War II, made the Stars and Stripes
Holy
newspaper.
moly. Wow.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
What year did Fairfield's football team go undefeated?
Well, the last two. Oh no, they lost. You're talking about undefeated. Period. There was no state. There was no state playoff.
Correct.
So they wouldn't have lost. They would have gone undefeated. And all I know is the modern day where there was playoffs.
Yeah.
I would be remiss.
Okay, that was in 1958.
58.
58.
58.
Okay. Year after I was born.
Yeah.
And
they were what, 8-0 or 9-0?
I think it was 9-0, but I'm not positive.
Okay. All right.
And do you know who the coach was?
No.
Bill Glenn.
No.
Good try.
Guess, good guess.
That was nice.
Mr. DJ Wood.
Really?
Donald J. Wood. Not
Okay.
DK Wood,
Okay.
but DJ Wood.
DJ Wood. Okay.
Good to know.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
How many regular season football games did Fairfield play in 1973?
Well, I guess you could play as many as 10 or 11 back then.
I'd say 10.
It is 10.
Okay.
And the reason for that was the year prior to the
Playoffs?
in Illinois starting. And I think what happened, they moved the starting week up a week.
Yeah.
To, in preparation for that.
What year was that?
1973.
Yeah. My high school played 10 games that year, too.
Yes. Everyone
Everybody
in Illinois did.
Yeah. And we lost quite a few of them. I think we were 1-9.
We were 4-6, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Last question.
All right.
All right. What Fairfield coach went on to SIU to coach, and the baseball field at SIU is named for him?
In SIUE or SIU?
SIU Carbondale.
Itchy Jones.
Nope.
Oh, shoot.
But I thought it was named
the baseball
after
field at
It
SIU
could
was
be.
called
It could
Itchy
be
Jones.
now.
I believe it is
Okay.
now.
Okay,
Because
now.
they built
okay.
a new one.
Yes,
just
they did.
recently.
It's Itchy Jones.
It was Glenn Abe Martin.
What's the last name?
Martin.
Abe
Martin.
Martin.
Oh,
Abe Martin.
yes.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you for being with us, Bill.
Well, you're
We're
very
running
welcome.
out of
I've
time.
enjoyed it. Boy, that hour went by an hour.
It did. We'll
It
have
is.
you back soon.
We'll
Thank
see
you very much.
See you tomorrow night.
Yes,
All right.
looking forward
Be
to
there.
it.
News, talk, sports, and classic rock. This is the station listened to, not just heard. 104.9 WFIW FM Fairfield, Illinois.
Time now for the news, brought to you by Boyd Furniture and Mattress Center in downtown Wayne City. Stop by for a rest test. 20 mattresses on display. Try their adjustable beds for maximum comfort.
Fox News. I'm Lillian Wu. The summit over North Korean nukes kicks off with warm greetings and abruptly without a deal. At a solo press conference, President Trump saying you
always have to be prepared to walk.
Saying Kim Jong-un was not ready to fully denuclearize. Before heading back from Vietnam, the president also blasting his former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, who testified before the House Oversight Committee yesterday.
He lied a lot, but it was very interesting because he didn't lie about one thing. He said no collusion.